Boom. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Saturday to you all. Welcome to another live beer review. Today we're going to be taking a look at a local brewery of mine that if you saw my Instagram post, these guys have kind of come a long way over the years. They've become probably one of the more well-known breweries here in the state of Illinois, and they've become pretty popular around the country as well. We got one here from Pipeworks Brewing Company out of Chicago, and this one is called their Cold-Blooded Cryo Blood of the Unicorn. So this is a cryo hopped red ale, even though on Untappd it considers it a red IPA, which is definitely interesting. A lot more. So I'm curious, during this review, I'm going to try to figure out what it tastes like more to me, if it just tastes like a hoppy red ale, or if it tastes like an IPA that's just like a red IPA kind of situation. But there's definitely a lot of cool stuff that you can do with the kind of hops that they used in this one, specifically using cryo hops, which is just more of the concentrated lupulins of the actual hop itself without adding vegetal matter to your boil as well. So it's definitely a really, really cool thing. A lot of breweries are playing around with cryo hops nowadays. It's really, really cool. You get a lot more concentrated hop flavors coming through it, along with it helps for a cleaner brew, in my opinion, as well, just because there's not as much, like I said, vegetable matter in the boil, so it's kind of helps a little bit more when it comes to the cleanup aspect of it. But it can also do just some really, really great things with flavor, and it's a really, really cool thing. So this guy comes in at a 6.4% ABV, which is definitely a nice kind of easy drinking ABV for a nice Saturday afternoon. So let's crack this thing open and see what we get on the nose with this guy. So I'm wondering if it's going to be more towards the realm of a red ale. Of course, red ales definitely has a bitterness that comes through them, a little bit of a malty sweetness as well. So I'm wondering if there's going to be more of a significant bitterness to this one, depending on the hops they used during the brew deck itself. But to be honest, this is smelling more like an IPA in my head. Definitely getting some hoppiness. Definitely getting a little bit more of like a little bit of a citrusiness. Definitely getting a little bit of bitter notes coming through. So I'm really curious of what kind of hops they use with this one. I don't think it explains anywhere within Untappd. Or actually, since I have their store open right now, let's see. Well, their website. Let's see. It doesn't say what kind of hops they used in this one, but that's okay. This is actually still available at the brewery itself right now. I think the brewery does curbside pickups unless you find it at a liquor store or bottle shop, which Pipeworks is well known for being available here in the Chicagoland area. I've also seen them become available in like the East Coast and all stuff like that. So they're pretty well known throughout the country, having some pretty good distribution. But this one right now is still available at the brewery if you wanted to go over to the brewery and pick up a 4-pack for a curbside pickup situation. But yeah, I'm getting some, let's see, what else we got? I'm definitely getting a lot more aromas of an IPA than I am of a red ale, which is definitely going to be interesting. I'm curious if more of the red ale properties are going to come in through on the palate itself. So I'm going to be drinking this out of my Untappd pint glass this afternoon. So let's pour this guy and see what it's all about. I'm expecting the color of a red ale, having like a slight brownish to it, having a little bit of of course, that red kind of color. But let's see what we got. Yeah, it definitely has that almost darker color to it. Nice little bit of head, which is going to be nice with this one. Let's see if we can get some good aromas coming through. But yeah, it's pouring really nice. Almost reminds me of a brown ale from the color, especially with the color of the head too. Definitely looks like a pillowy soft head. It's pretty clear when it comes to color. Definitely has a lot of colors of a red ale, but of course, you can kind of, if you didn't know what kind of style of beer this was, you can mistake this for a brown ale as well. But yeah, that head looks really nice on there. Nice and pillowy soft. Yeah, still getting a lot of those citrusy notes coming through on the aromas after I pour it. Yeah, this smells pretty damn solid. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. So let's give this guy a try and see what it's all about. So, cheers everybody. Happy Saturday. Okay. So, to me, right off the bat, I really don't get many characteristics of a red ale to this one. So when it comes to what Untappd kind of describes it as a red IPA, I would definitely agree. This definitely has very, very forward, like a vegetal citrusiness, definitely a little bit of pininess coming through. Of course, that's what you expect out of a hoppy beer. But now that I had my first sip, the lingering flavors get that kind of maltiness, get a little bit of a smokiness almost. But it's definitely, you're getting a little bit of those malts coming through, which is what I expect out of a red ale as well. Definitely has a significant hoppy bitterness to it, so if you're not a fan of hoppy bitterness, this might not be the one for you. But overall, flavors are really nice on this one. It's very smooth, has a nice mouthfeel. Yeah, that's nice. That's really nice. So, looking over here at Untappd, of course, like I stated, it's considered a red IPA. And trying to find something similar to this guy is going to be interesting because I'm going to check my Untappd history if I've ever had any other red IPAs because I'm curious. So, of course, if you're on Untappd either through the browser or through the app itself, you can always look at your beer history and kind of see different kind of styles of beer you've had. So let's look under IPA red, which I've had 3. Okay. So I've had 3 red IPAs. So let's look and see what Untappd is telling me for what I've had before. See if we can find something similar to this one. So we got a couple different ones. We got one here from 21st Amendment Brewery. Let's see. We got Brewery Vivant with the big red. And then we got one from another local brewery of mine called the Huntress from Wolf Den Brewing Company. So let's see. Any of these ones I could probably, looking at the IBU rating, of course this one from Wolf Den would probably be something similar. Of course this toaster pastry may be some similar to this one, 7.6%, 74 IBUs, has a little bit higher of an IBU rating than this one does. But I don't think this one's really available at the brewery right now. This may be a kind of just maybe a little bit of a batch of this one. They do it a little bit at a time. It doesn't seem like it's a year round. Of course, that brings in a lot more fruitier characteristics and kind of because they use like jam and kind of having like a bready biscuitiness almost to it, that one. But I'm probably going to go, when it comes to local stuff to me that's similar to this one, you may be able to go over to Wolf Den Brewing Company and try the Huntress if it's available. But let's look and see what the actual similar beers list for this beer shows on Untappd itself. So, of course, we got one here from Emmett's Brewing Co. called the Zoller, which is an American IPA, West Coast IPA with Mike Zoller from Chicago Beer, brewed with Centennial hops. Okay, yeah, maybe it's a 7.5%. That may be something. We got another one here from a local brewery of mine called, of course, Microphone Brewing Company. They've gotten a lot kind of more well-known within this past year. And this one is called the Sus Pseudo, which is a collaboration they did with Top Link Goliath, which this is more of like your New England Hazy IPA. I'm not really going to consider this something with this. I think what they did when it comes to making a similar beers list, they kind of listed off other beers that are using cryo hops, which this is like a double New England IPA, so I'm not really going to consider this one. We got one here from Dark Sky Brewing Company called the Sacred Dutra, I think it's called. It's collaborated with Kitsune Brewing Company. Where's Dark Sky Brewing? I've never heard of them before. Okay, so they're in Flagstaff, Arizona. The Sacred, this one looks kind of like more of a West Coast IPA. Yep, this is a triple New England Hazy. Let's see, we got one here from Blaze Brewing Company called the Landrass. What is this? Let's see, another New England Hazy. And then we got one here from Von Ebert Brewing, which is the Violet Substance, which is like another American IPA, of course. I guess you can kind of get a little bit of characteristics of an American IPA from this one. Of course, it's not as fruity when you think of a West Coast / American IPA. There's not less fruitiness, less kind of a softer mouthfeel. Definitely has a little bit of a thinner mouthfeel to it. But I guess you could probably put this in the realm of being similar to an American IPA, I guess. But when it comes to something that if you're looking for a red IPA, kind of closer to the same IBU rating and all that stuff, to me the most similar to this one will probably be the Huntress from Wolf Den. So if you're ever in the Chicagoland area and head over to Wolf Den Brewing Company, I think you may find something pretty similar to this one. Or if you're able to find this one with this availability they have, because I think this one's one of their more popular ones, even though it's not too crazy when it comes to the ratings and check-ins and all that kind of stuff. But I think this one was still probably ready available to where you might be able to find somewhere near you that has it. So, yeah, similar beers. I hate when they do a similar beers list where they only kind of stick with other beers that do cryo hops. If you want to find something similar, you want to kind of stick to something within the same category. So I can like I said, I can understand why they put this kind of in the similar realm of your West Coast American IPA. So, looking here, of course, like I stated before, it's a 6.4% ABV, 79 IBUs, which is kind of on that meatier to almost higher tier of an IBU rating. Definitely has a nice kind of just middle point with that one. And I think the Huntress had I think it was 60-something, 69 or 64 IBUs. And with over 723 ratings, this one has an average rating of 3.88 out of 5, which to me is still pretty good. I know Pipeworks is kind of has a lot of availability when it comes to stuff, so their availability for check-ins is great when it comes to just how much beer they have out in the world and all that kind of stuff. So I'm surprised this one doesn't have more than 723 ratings. And maybe it just more people need to drink it. So 3.88 to me is still a pretty good average when it comes to how many ratings they've had. But let's look here at my friends list and see if anybody in my friends list has checked this one in. And of course, because I think my dad's the one that bought the 4-pack of this, he checked it in before me. He gave it a 3.75 out of 5, which is, yeah, it's pretty good for him. I can definitely see why he did that. And then somebody else who's local to me, he gave it a 3.5 out of 5. So yeah, pretty good ratings overall for people on my friends list. I still consider 3.5 to 3.75 a still pretty damn good rating when it comes to rating it on Untappd. It's not like anything that's going to be groundbreaking or extraordinary, but it's still a really good beer. So looking here at the global ratings, let's see what other people had to say. Maybe we can find some places that have it in stock right now. So this guy checked it in, I believe this was, a couple minutes ago exactly, and he gave it a 3.75 out of 5, purchased at the Beer Cellar Geneva, which I'm assuming is in Geneva, Illinois. So if you're anywhere near the Beer Cellar in Geneva, Illinois, you'll most likely be able to find it there. This looked like it's available somewhere overseas. This place is called Brewco, which is... Oh no, of course, never mind. This is a place in Arizona. So there's some place in Arizona that people check this one in. It's called the Brewco, and he didn't give it a rating, but that's okay. Let's see. This guy got it on draft at the Beer Cellar Geneva, which he gave it a 4.25 out of 5. Let's see. We got a 4.5 here. We got a 4. A lot of draft check-ins. So this one might actually be on tap over at the Beer Cellar right now. So if you want to try that over there, that's another option. Because of course, in my opinion, having stuff on draft is 100 times better than drinking out of a can, even though it's still delicious out of a can. So let's see. Let's do like 3 more. We got a 3 out of 5 check-in. We got a 4.25 out of 5 purchased at the Andersonville Wine and Spirits, which is a place in Chicago, Illinois. And then let's see if we can find a different location somebody's checked this one in at. A lot of Beer Cellar check-ins. Okay. Then we have a different location of the Beer Cellar. So we got the Beer Cellar Glen Ellen, which is in Glen Ellen, Illinois. So and he gave it, what did he give this one? He gave it a 3.75. So yeah, pretty good. Well, we got a Kroger check-in. So where's this one located? Okay, Kroger in Georgia may have this one available as well. So you kind of guys got to look from there. But overall, I would say pretty solid ratings on this one. Nothing really too like extraordinary or groundbreaking when it comes to... God damn it. Open something I didn't want to open. But yeah, I still think the ratings on this one are pretty solid. Definitely a pretty good average, I would say. Oh, did I not... Am I good? Where's my... Hold on a second here. Can you guys see me? At all? Is OBS doing something weird? I think it's working over here. Can you guys see me at all? Hold on, let me refresh my freaking thing here. I don't know what the hell is going on. Hold on. Are we good? Can you guys see me? Okay. Did you guys hear anything that I just said these past, like, little bit? I want to make sure you guys heard everything I said. Just say a yes or no in chat. I don't know if my computer did some weird shit over here, but I think we're okay. Did you guys hear everything I said? Everything good? Yes in chat? Am I not just talking to myself for the entire time and just screw this entire thing up? Did you guys hear anything I just said for the past 20 minutes almost? Because if not, this is going to suck. Well, let's see. I'm hoping everything looked okay. No, let's see. Everything good. Did you guys hear me talking about this beer at all earlier? Because on my end, YouTube Studio was doing something weird where it didn't transition stuff. I want to make sure you guys heard me at all. Let's see. Because if not, this is going to suck. And this one's going to run a little bit longer because I'm going to have to go back and repeat what the hell I just said. So everything good? You guys hear everything I said? X1 in chat if you did, or let me know. Because I'm making sure nothing got screwed up on this one. Because, I don't know. But yeah, let me know, guys. Let's see. Actually, I can always just open the video itself. I don't know if I can go back into the live and make sure. I don't know what that'll happen. This is weird. But yeah, is everything good? You guys hear everything I was talking about earlier? Let me know in chat. Or did it's like, is this the first time you guys are seeing me during this entire damn review? Because if it is, it's crap. Let's see. Everything good? I don't know what the chat's doing. It's not moving. Is this the first time you guys are seeing me? Let me know in chat. Okay, well, I'm just going to continue and we'll just kind of see what happens there. So, overall, everything I said, hopefully everything came through okay when it comes to me talking for the past 15, 20 minutes already, and that this is just not a screwed up review that I most likely will be deleting. Hopefully not. I'll go back and look at it. But this beer, to me, is absolutely delicious. I think it's a really nice characteristic, but having a little bit of similar notes to an IPA and a red ale. To me, the more of the red ale characteristics coming on the back end, where you get a little bit of maltiness, but nothing too crazy. But overall, flavors in this beer are still damn delicious. I love the color, love the mouthfeel, and just overall, it's just definitely bright and vibrant when it comes to the flavors you get. So, with all the stuff that I hopefully you guys heard earlier, let's start trying to figure out what we're going to be doing for ratings on our end with this guy. So, let's see here. Of course, the first we like to look at is can art. And we pour a little more into the glass. And, of course, first thing I like to look at is can art. And I usually really like the stuff that Pipeworks does. They do a lot of stuff involving unicorns, which maybe they maybe like unicorns, but I think I love the black label. I love how detailed this unicorn is on there. They took advantage of almost all the space they had on this can art with just making the unicorn on there. And then, of course, you got the almost like kind of curvy kind of font that they use in this one. I really like how they took advantage of kind of going around the unicorn horn on there to kind of put it on there. So I like the touch of that. And this is probably definitely one of the nicer ones that I've seen from Pipeworks when it comes to labels. I definitely am a really big fan of this one. So for can art in this one, I'm definitely going to give this a solid 4.5 out of 5. Really, really nice. Love the detail. I like the kind of almost the black can to kind of help accent the label a little bit more. But let's see what else we got here. If I got this beer at a flight over at Pipeworks, if they're doing stuff like that, or maybe if I went over to Beer Cellar and got in a flight, if they do flights over there, would I get another one of these? To be honest, absolutely. I'm a really, really big fan of this one already. Definitely brings in some of the characteristics that I like from a West Coast IPA, and of course brings in characteristics from a red ale that I usually enjoy, with like kind of the breadiness, sometimes a little bit of the hoppy bitterness that comes through. But overall, great flavors come from this one. Absolutely delicious. So let's see here. What is my final rating on this guy going to be? Let's see. I'm going to give this one like a very, very solid 7.75 out of 10. Go almost to an 8. Really, really close to an 8. I think it's still leaning towards more of like the... If I had to kind of narrow it down a little bit more, I'd put it in like the 7.85 kind of realm out of 10. So overall, really, really good. A little bit more than 7.75, but right around that 7.85, almost a 9, an 8 out of 10. Really, really good. If you have the opportunity to pick this one up, I would highly, highly recommend it. And of course, let's see what else we got here. I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, guys, I'm hoping that the review didn't get screwed up to where you guys didn't hear anything I was saying earlier. Hoping OBS didn't freaking take a shit on me during all that kind of stuff. I did a refresh and it looked like everything went through okay on OBS's side. I don't know if just YouTube Studio didn't do anything correctly, but we'll see from that when I go back and rewatch this, because I'm hoping it did. But thank you everybody for coming in and hanging out today. You guys are awesome. If you haven't yet, please hit that like button. It'll help me out a lot. Also, if you're new to the channel and like what you see, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well, along with that notification bell. It'll let you know whenever I go live to another review. I got a review planned for you guys tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that. When it comes to maybe in the beginning of the week, I'm going to be brewing some stuff over at Fibs, so no reviews at the beginning of the week, but maybe towards like the mid/end of the week, I'll have some reviews coming out for you guys. So keep an eye out. My Instagram, of course, if you haven't done so yet. shoot me a follow over on Instagram. That'll be the first place where you will see what I'm be reviewing that day, of course. And what else? Let's see here. Of course, if you haven't shot me a friend request on Untappd as well, you should definitely do so. You guys hear me talk about Untappd all the time. I think it's a fantastic platform. You drink beers, you check them in, get badges, all that kind of stuff. It's really, really cool. I like to call it Facebook for beer drinkers because that's pretty much what it is to me. And it's just overall just a really, really versatile platform that they've created over there. So if you're not on Untappd yet, I would definitely recommend doing so and shooting me a friend request. Link to my profile is down in the description below. Last but not least, if you guys hear me talking about the best way to help support this channel, help me keep on coming out with these reviews, of course, the best way to do so is to head over to my Patreon. I do monthly 4-pack giveaways over there as well, plus a couple other stuff I'm hoping to get going down the road. But yeah, it helps me greatly if you go over there. Helps me get more beer in my hands, which will help me get more beer out to you guys as well, plus working on some other stuff that'll possibly happen down the road with that as well. We just need a little bit more foot traffic heading over to the Patreon. So if you want to help support me and help support this channel, the Patreon is going to be the best way to do so. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is pretty much what I have for you guys today. So thank you everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are awesome. Thank you everybody who's going to be watching the replay as well. We'll see if this video stays up. If it does, then everything went well. If it gets taken down, something happened on my end over here to where it just didn't transfer over to where you saw the intro the entire time. I'm hoping that didn't happen, but we'll just have to see and I'll have to go back. So again, thank you everybody for hanging out in chat. You guys are amazing. And I'm going to end this like I always do before we get the hell out of here. If you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And I'll see y'all next time. Cheers.